Okay, here's a video for 10.3a. This is with writing linear equations with 2 points. So for the sake of time, I'm going to skip the warm-up again. So when we are writing equations with 2 points, first we need to use those 2 points, and we were going to calculate the slope. And when we're given 2 points, we are given a point 1, which is x1, y1, that's our first point, and then we are given our second point, that's our x2, y2. So when I say calculate the slope, we have to use that equation that we've learned, which is the slope equals change in y, so y2 minus y1, over change in x, x2 minus x1. And then we use our mx plus b equation again, and we're going to substitute in the m value that we solved. Then we're going to pick a ordered pair. You can either pick the first one, so we're going to use the ordered pair for x and y. You can use either of the points, either the x1, y1, or x2, y2. You can do either one. Substitute those in for x, y, and m, and then use our inverse operations to solve for b. So essentially we're going to be doing the same thing we did in the last lesson, except for that we have to find our slope first using our slope equation, and then pick a point and solve for b. Okay, so step 1, we need to find our slope. So just one more time, the slope equation was y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And we got our points here. This is our first point, so this is our x1, y1. And then this negative 2, negative 6 is our second point, so this is our x2, y2. So our slope is going to be y2 minus y1. That's going to be negative 6 minus the 9 divided by x2 minus x1, so negative 2 minus 3. And you have to be careful with your subtracting, especially dealing with negatives, so make sure to double check your work. Negative 6 minus 9 is going to be negative 15. Negative 2 minus 3 will be negative 5. And then we can simplify if possible, which you can because these are both, you can divide negative 15 by 5. It's going to simplify to 3 over 1 or just 3. So we get m equals 3. So then we're going to plug that into our equation. Y equals mx plus b. And we're going to have y equals 3x plus b. Remember, I didn't mention this, but I had a negative divided by a negative. That's why I got a positive. So my division of negative rule. Okay, and then we're going to pick one of our points, and you can pick either one. So you can do this point or this point for x and y. I'm just going to go ahead and use the first point. So I'm going to use the point 39 because it doesn't have negatives for x and y. And so then I'm going to go ahead and put the 9 in for the y, and then the 3 in for the x. So it's 3x, that means 3 times x, so 3 times 3 plus b. It's going to be 9 equals 9 plus b. Then using our inverse operations, it's a positive 9. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 9 from both sides. And then that cancels, so I get b left. And 9 minus 9 is 0 on this side as well. So that means our y-intercept is 0. So our equation is going to be y equals 3x plus 0, which simplifies to just y equals 3x. All right, let's go ahead and do it again. We're going to start by finding our slope first, which means we're going to use this slope equation again. We have 2 points, so this is our first point and our second point, or our first x1, y1, sorry, and this is our second point, x2, y2. So then our slope is going to be y2 minus y1. It's going to be negative 3, whoops, keeps moving around, sorry, negative 3 minus negative 4, then divided by 8 minus 6. So then simplifying this as best I can, negative 3 minus a negative, remember that's going to be plus. So negative 3 plus 4, it'll be 1. 8 minus 6 will be 2. So we're going to have a slope of 1/2. Then I'm going to go ahead and plug that into my y equals mx plus b equation. And I'm going to get y equals 1/2 for my m, x plus b. And then I'm going to pick one of my points. And you can pick either one. You can use this one or this one. It does not matter. I'm just going to pick the first one. So I'm going to pick the point 6, negative 4. What matters is that you remember that the first one is x and the second one is y. So when you plug in, you're plugging in the negative 4 for y. So negative 4 equals. And then we have 1/2 times x. So it'll be 1/2 times 6 plus b. And then I'm going to go ahead and make that 6 over 1 so I can multiply it by a fraction. That's going to be negative 4 equals 1 times 6 is 6, 2 times 1 is 2. So 1/2 times 6 will be 6 over 2, which reduces to 3, and half of 6 is 3, so that makes sense. So I get negative 4 equals 3 plus b, and then I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides so that I can get rid of the positive 3 on the right side, and left with just this b, so I get b equals, and negative 4 minus 3 more, we'd be at negative 7. So I have m equals 1/2 and b equals negative 7. So then my answer would be y equals 1/2 x and then minus 7. Okay, hopefully you're catching on. I'll just do one more for you. All right, we have the same 2 points. So first we got to start by finding our slope. This is our first point, x1, y1. This is our second point, x2, y2. It's a good idea for you to pause the video now and try this one on your own and then replay it to see if you got the right answer. So let's find the slope first. Would be y2 minus y1. So 1 minus 6 over x2 minus x1. So 4 minus negative 1. 4 minus negative 1 is going to be plus 1. So 1 minus 6 will be negative 5, and 4 plus 1 is 5. So that simplifies to negative 1. So I have a slope of negative 1. And then I'm going to use my mx plus b equation, and I'm going to plug in negative 1 for x, or for m, I mean. And then you can pick either point. I'll use the second point this time. So I have 4 and 1, and then I remember this is x and y. So it's going to be 1 equals negative 1 times my 4 for x plus b. 1 equals negative 4 plus b. And then adding 4 to both sides. I'm going to get 5 equals b by itself. So I got m equals negative 1 and b equals 5. So the final answer for this one would be negative 1x plus 5. Or you could just write it as negative x plus 5. Those would be equivalent answers because a negative x implies that it's a negative 1. All right, hope this was helpful. 10.2 or 10.3a and b are the same lesson. So 2 of the same things, just kind of repeated for extra practice. We did 2 days of it. So use this video for 10.3b as well.